So at this time, any new business that anyone would like to come up and make a comment?
Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. East Brunswick is holding also their town council meeting tonight, but I can't be two places at once. The Summer Hill Road and Old Stage Road overdevelopment project needs to be overturned. I want
Sure, I think you're at the wrong meeting if you
Yeah,
like to see
well,
that happen.
I am telling you first because you're the elected representatives. I'm not elected, but I will be going to their meeting next time. I want to see the precedent whereby a development came into a town and at the same point of time, the mayor of that town was denied attendance at the planning board meetings, which shows that only the ruling judge in the case and the developer are the deciding parties. The public, which came to many meetings, came up to the microphone, all of the input that was there by testimony, by expert witnesses, by people in the know, the township of East Brunswick, the township of Spotswood, the people involved. But the mayor of East Brunswick was denied attendance by a judge.
Well, once again, Cheryl, this is an East Brunswick issue. I was at the meeting with you. I testified at the meetings. Unfortunately, even at the time when I was testifying, I felt that there was really nothing we could do by that point. So, but I honestly think you might have picked the wrong meeting tonight. You should have been in East Brunswick tonight if that's the case. I mean, you can...
Why I came to this meeting tonight is so that you would be aware when I go to the meeting in East Brunswick what I'm going to speak about. I found in the law journals, the law dictionary, stare decisis, to stand by things decided, a policy of law that requires courts to abide by laws and precedents previously laid down as applicable to a similar set of facts. So I will be asking for that overdevelopment, as I call it, to be overturned because the mayor of that town of East Brunswick was denied attendance. I want to see where there is a precedent that a township's mayor was denied attendance at the meetings, multiple meetings, public allowed to come to the microphone and ask questions, and it was a deciding judge who laid down the specifications. All the volunteers at the planning board meeting said they had to go by the guideline of this judge. That's a material fact. You give that to us at the beginning of the meetings, not at the end. It only gave an excuse to the volunteers to say, although I am against it, because of the judge's guideline, I have to vote in a certain manner. So this way you are aware of what I will be talking about at the East Brunswick.
Well, thank you for going and still fighting for this, and I hope that you get somewhere and you can stop.
Well, here, CVS will be in East Brunswick. We have fought to make sure that ShopRite Pharmacy, right across the street, will not be selling marijuana. All you have to do is go diagonally across the street to get marijuana.
CVS?
At the CVS. It's in East Brunswick.
They sell marijuana at CVS?
All right,
The
Cheryl.
state of New Jersey.
Wow. Yeah. You guys should go there.
Anyone else from the public? Steve, this is...
Sure. Steve Ronco. So last council meeting, I asked about Dawn being here and her going to the closed session meeting, and you said that she was a guest. Why is a guest being paid? How come we're not being paid too?
Get at these meetings.
Yes, she's being paid to be at the meetings. I got her payroll invoices. So she's being paid when she's here. She's not a guest.
She's in comp time, I believe is how it works, so she's,
No. And according to the paperwork I got, she got paid to be here.
okay, so I'd like to see that then, please.
Well, I did an Oprah request for it, so I
Okay.
could probably forward it to you.
No, I can, yeah.
So, also last meeting, and I know I didn't send it to you, but you guys asked me for $1,267 for the one Oprah request. So, July 8th, I sent you an email saying that you can't charge me $1,267 for the paperwork, so please send the paperwork immediately. I still don't have it. Why is that? I mean, I brought it up at last council meeting, and I still don't have it.
So, and I know we discussed a few items that you had problems with, Steve, and I asked you for an email or to get.
Yes, I didn't do that, but I did tell you that there's emails, so you can certainly get the email from her.
So I need to look into what you're looking for, Steve. I don't know.
It's right here. I'll bring it up to you.
Is this your copy or can
No,
I?
you can have it. I got the original email. I already sent it to my attorney for a lawsuit. I mean, why are we ignoring the law, counsel? Why are we ignoring the law? Public records law.
I'm not at all familiar with the...
You can't charge anybody any fees at all.
Well, let me look at the, Charlie, you can...
Yeah.
All right, why don't you forward it over to him so we can take a look at it, and let's address it right now.
This is for a copy of the tort claim?
Well, I certainly want the tort claim, but I asked for, I believe it was emails, and they said it was $1,267, and you can't charge anybody a dime. That's the law. And also for that tort claim, they quoted a PAC decision, and that PAC decision had nothing to do with that, it had to do with personnel records. And this has nothing to do with, the tort claim has nothing to do with personnel records. That's a public record. So take a look at the paperwork. Why am I not getting my paperwork?
And now I'll look it over.
Yeah,
You have the paperwork right in front of you. What's the big deal?
there might be other things that we have to look into, Steve, so we'll look into it and we'll get you an answer.
But you can't charge anybody.
Check and I'll talk to the council president tomorrow.
Well, you can't charge anybody for service fees or any of
First,
that.
this is brought to my attention.
But that's your email that you sent to me.
Steve, I'll get you an answer.
I'd like an answer now.
No, it is.
I mean, he's here right now. Why can't we answer a legal question?
We need to look into it.
This is the first time this has been called to my attention. I have
Hey,
absolutely no idea what's happening.
Then somebody's forging your stuff because you're in there.
What?
Somebody's forging, speaking to the mic, somebody's forging then your information.
Steve,
Sir, treat me with courtesy and I will act accordingly, okay?
You'll act accordingly as a public official.
Treat me with courtesy as you would any other human being and I will act accordingly. If you
Can you just
treat
answer
me
the
in a
question?
discourteous manner, I will act accordingly also. As I indicated, I am the attorney. for
The microphone is there.
I will look
Please
over.
use it.
I will look it over and I will talk to the council president tomorrow.
But you're claiming you have no idea about it, so then they're sending out emails with your legal interpretations of the law without your knowledge. That's really concerning.
Steve, we'll read everything over and I'll get you an answer.
Well, I'd like for him to answer it now.
Council would like to.
His name is on those documents. If you read the Vaughan Index, your name's all over it. I mean, did you read the Vaughan Index? Did you put that together?
Steve, we'll get you an answer for tomorrow.
I'm asking him now,
And tomorrow you'll have an answer.
so I can't get an answer.
Not tonight,
Why?
because we need to look into it and we'll have an answer tomorrow.
Well, here's a question. Can you charge anybody for service fees?
There are copying fees, etc. with Oprah that are legitimate.
And where's the ordinance that says that you can charge?
That's state statute.
No, you have to do an ordinance. Read the law.
Because the state statute does allow the municipality.
Yeah, if you have an ordinance. You don't have an ordinance. You can't charge anybody anything.
Again, I do not, just so you understand, sir, I do not do Oprah requests. That falls within the clerk. Whatever information was sent to you, what came from the clerk's office, it may have been copies of communications from me, but it did not come from me.
I didn't say you emailed it.
What do you say?
I didn't say you emailed it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll talk to the council.
I didn't say you physically emailed it. I said that your information is in there as giving guidance on how to deal with my Oprah request.
Steve,
That's not the case, and there's a serious issue here.
I'll have an
No
answer with
idea
you.
what you're talking about. Let me research it, and I will find, and I will
The
get you.
email's right in front of you.
Steve, please.
No, please, let's get an answer.
Tomorrow you'll have an answer. I will call you personally tomorrow.
So he just misquoted the law, saying that they can charge. You can't charge unless you have an ordinance. You don't have an ordinance here to be able to charge anybody a penny. So I already sent it to my attorney, Colin Bell, and he's pretty damn quick, so we should have a lawsuit tomorrow. And my original date of that request was May. So you have no idea about nothing that goes on in the town, but they're using your name to do Vaughn indexes
Steve,
and quote everything. But I can still talk. What are you trying to stop me from
I'm
talking?
not trying to stop you. Do you have something else that you'd like?
No, I'm continuing on this. This is my time. You know, this is my soapbox, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, May 17th approximately was the date of the request. I've sent you numerous emails asking for that paperwork. You guys ignored them. What's going on in this town? And now your counsel's telling me that he doesn't look at Oprah requests. He doesn't do anything with them. So people are, who's looking up the statutes? Who's looking up all the Vaughn indexes to quote different court cases? Are you doing that?
I get advised by all of the attorneys, so.
Well, the attorney says he doesn't do it, so I guess we're talking to the wall because he doesn't look into it. And he has no clue that you can't even charge because there's no ordinance in town saying that you could charge. And I believe that the
Steve,
Vaughn
I'm
index
not-
is incorrect.
And I'm not cutting you off, but I specifically asked you if you can get me all this information after the last meeting so I can help you and we can look into all this.
I said I agreed, I didn't
So-
send it to you.
but that
But
would
as
help
council
us.
president, I sent it to them. So that's the
But
government,
I'm
you can
not-
get to them.
I'm not involved with every Oprah request, Steve. I don't
Right.
see every Oprah request that comes across the table.
But it's my specific one, you could have said, hey, can you send me the emails from Mr.
And
Ronco?
that's why I asked to sit down with you, so I had the list of all of them that you have complaints about, which I know there's a few.
Right,
And
well,
I asked you to send
but
them-
you could have went right to them, and that's exactly what I said to you when you asked for them. I said, I'll send them to you, and I didn't send them, I agree with you. But you could certainly have went to the town and say, what's the correspondence between Steve and the town? Right? That's your due diligence too.
So,
'Cause
you're absolutely right.
You're certainly aware that I have an issue.
In my defense, Steve, when I didn't hear from you, I thought that maybe it was taken care of.
I sent it to the attorney, because he'll have it tomorrow, you know.
But what I'm saying is, when I didn't hear back from you with the complaints that you talked about, I kind of, which I'm sorry I did, but I assumed that they were taken care of because I didn't hear from you that there was something.
I wish it was taken care of, I mean, it was ignored.
And I wish that we got together before.
I agree with you, but I mean, we didn't, and you know, it's partially my fault, but at the same time, I want the paperwork. What are we hiding?
So now that I know that the issues are still outstanding, I will look into it. Before you leave tonight, can we please sit down and you let me know so we don't have...
I just gave them to you.
That's everything right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I have
But
it
it's
now.
already sent to my attorney, I sent it before I left.
Okay.
I mean, I want I didn't drop the ball.
You didn't send it to him, you dropped the ball.
No problem, I'll just do it. Sounds good.
Yeah, why not?
Good. Okay. Oh, and please speak into the mic.
Hi, good evening. Suzanne Kransky, 1 Maiden Lane. My new business is not as exciting, but I wanted to see if the council could possibly send someone out to take a look at Maiden Lane. I know that you've been looking at different streets, and I've been living there 18 years in November, and it's in pretty bad shape, like really bad. I took pictures with my phone, but I figure if somebody, if somebody can stop by and whenever, take a look.
We'll definitely get out. Can you please add that to
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
add
add it to our list and we'll be out there to take a look.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Frank.
Frank Foundation, 41 Kane Avenue in Spotswood. I believe most of the residents received a letter from the mayor identifying some subjects we would hopefully will be discussing tonight. I want to go over a couple of those. First of all, about putting in a new well in operation. It's a costly project. What's costly? That could be wide open number. Any ideas what that's going to be?
You know the number off the...
I don't know what the number is off the top of my head. I know that's something that Bruce is handling, but that's a number that we can get for the council.
Jose, or John, because that was discussed before.
That,
Larry and I, the numbers were anyway.
yeah, that was about 1.5, could be more. That's to put George Street back up online.
The package.
Right, and that was
Package
to,
plan.
Yeah.
that was also to make the well
And
bigger, so we
make
can
it
get,
bigger and everything.
right, to get away from, so Spotswood can produce more water to get away from the whole East Brunswick, buying water from them, if we make our infrastructure better.
Well, that's the second part of this I was going to say. This time, they're going to save some money. Don't they know how much money they're going to save? They've been paying East Brunswick for a long time.
They really.
So you don't know the cost, you don't know the savings. How can you vote on something like that? Well, you only have half the information. You don't have all the information.
One thing is that if we use more than the amount that East Brunswick gives us, okay, they charge us more. And also by the state sent us a letter that we have to turn around and do some water management deal. Because we got buildings that are being built and everything. So, and again, we need to have water. So we have to put George Street back up online. George Street should have been put back in line back then.
All right.
But
It
again,
says financing source. What is the financing source for this project?
I don't have, does anyone have a copy of the letter? You don't have a copy, do you? No, this was the letter from the mayor that went out?
Yeah.
They came in our,
There's no,
Came in your tax bill.
Came in your tax bill.
there's no numbers on here. And these projects are going to be costly projects. There's no doubt about it. And I'm saying, listen, how can you vote on something if you don't know what the cost is? You don't know what the savings are going to be?
if anything's being voted on, you have all those numbers. I'm not sure what
You
the
do have
mayor,
those numbers?
I don't have them in front of me, Frank, but I don't even, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't even read the mayor's letter. I didn't see it.
But you have those, you say you have those numbers?
I don't,
I read it to you.
I think
oh, there you go.
I gave this 2 months ago.
In sign
They brought
language?
up-
No, in English.
I know about the letters that we issue to have the cost estimates in them. I just don't have that.
That's what I'm saying, we don't have it in front of us now.
Right.
Because we've only been working on this project for how many years? And we don't have any numbers. You know, all boils down to numbers. I'm gonna be affected, I know.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying it's not a good project. I think it should have been done a long time ago. And I not know that we're coming close to it. I think we should nail it down. So we're gonna keep dragging it on and on and on.
I don't have any, one of the reasons why it's being dragged on is because we're dealing with the state and the DEP and the EPA. We had to go for them for permits to make our wells bigger and a bigger infrastructure. And as soon as we walked in, they looked at us, and I'm not speaking for the mayor, this is what I heard, that they had said, because I was at the meeting, you're looking at probably a year before you get the permits back.
Oh,
Say that again, please, Charlie.
You're looking at probably a year before the permits are even given back to
Oh,
us. So it's not, the ball's rolling slowly, but it's not rolling slowly because of us per se. So it's more red tape with
Yeah, I know.
these agencies.
I'm not trying to point the finger at you guys.
Right.
I'm saying, yeah, how can you make a decision? You know, we're talking big bucks here.
Well, when the
Not
decision,
nickel and dime stuff.
I'm sure when the decision was made, it was, the numbers were in front of whoever made that
I don't
decision.
know about that.
That was during budget. It it was in their in the
It
budget.
was in our budget this year, but I don't know if those numbers together prior.
That was some time ago, and I'm sure those numbers have changed since then, right? You don't have to go,
No, I can't do it
now.
on that.
I'm just saying, the longer we wait, the more it's gonna cost us.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm saying, let's get the ball going. You know what you wanna do, let's do it. Let's put the pressure on whoever we have to do with that. There's another item in that letter that I'd like to address. This was the purchasing of the home on 474 Main Street. To be used for determined later. Now, say here again, why later? What is it gonna be? What are you gonna use that home for? It's gonna cost you money to buy that, and we don't know what we're gonna use it for?
Well, we felt that it'd be nice to take that property and destroy the home, because it's not livable, and just to clear that land and have it, in case a business wants to come in and purchase it from us, or if the town needs to use it for anything, but we thought that it'd be a good piece of property to own as the borough for future use, whatever that use may be, or
Yeah, for what?
for future use, for whatever, either for the borough,
Yeah.
or I know there's a lot of rumors going around about a new fire department going there, or water, we don't know. But it could be just an investment for the town. Somebody, a business can come in and put something on.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy to see that building go because it's doing absolutely nothing.
Right,
Just been making our Main Street look terrible.
Yeah.
right.
But you gotta work on, you gotta push this thing, I don't know whose responsibility, but I'm just throwing out, you know, the council and the mayor, you have to sit down and get these numbers down.
When all these decisions were made, Frank, the numbers were in front of us. They might not be in the mayor's letter,
Yeah,
but you don't make a decision without seeing what it's gonna cost and the impact.
I know it, and that's why I'm throwing you, you're asking us to, discuss this, and I'm saying, where's the numbers? I don't see any numbers. And you say you have them.
I don't know.
don't challenge that, Charlie, I'm sure you have the numbers somewhere.
Right.
You've only been working on this 4 or 5 years.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, the mayor's letter, I think's intent was just to show or to inform the residents of what's going on in the town. I don't, like I said, Denise said that she read it to me, unfortunately, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she didn't, because I forget a lot of things she tells me, you can ask her. But-
I think, I mean, he raised a problem here, which problem we've had for a long time. And I'm saying now they're throwing the ball in your court. Let's do something about it. You know, let's knock it down, pin it down. Let's do something.
Well, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. But we don't know what it's gonna cost.
Well, right now, we had a cost on that when we said that we would do it. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, would I be wrong in saying those costs are probably not valid anymore?
No, for that home, that's a recent thing that we just looked into, so those numbers I'm sure are valid.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to quote you the wrong number, Frank, I don't
That's
know.
all right. Yeah. I wasn't looking for the number, I'm just saying, I don't make the decision, you can make the decision, but I'm saying, in order to make the decision, you gotta have the facts.
No, we have, trust me, we do our research before we do
I
anything.
hope so. Thank you.
Yep. Best cleaning building services was the lowest, most responsible quote in the amount of $28,800. 2019-110, resolution of the Borough of Spotswood authorizing the increase in the not-to-exceed amount for special employment council services. 2019-111, ratifying and executing the settlement agreement between the Borough of Spotswood and Colleen Credo Ronco. 2019-12, payment of bills. We have regular meeting for any new business. Jackie?
Jackie Palmer, 9 Shupin Street. I have 2 questions. One is on the ordinance 2019, is that -9, which we're amending the Director of Public Safety.
The ordinance.
Yeah. It's on first reading. My question is, after all the months that we've been talking about this, we're still going to keep a director of public safety and then give it to the mayor?
What's happening is it's going to revert back to the wording that it was in the past, which that Director of Public Safety was not in the code book
At all.
at all.
But
So-
we're just modifying the code right now to say that Article X, we're not eliminating anything. We're saying that we're changing the Director of Public Safety. So everything that's listed under the Director of Public Safety now reverts to the mayor.
Which is how it read in the past, though.
But what I'm asking and what I've been asking for months is why do we need a Director of Public Safety that does not hold any type of training in any discipline that they're supporting in public safety has been my question.
So, Pat, if you don't mind me asking the attorney, because we spoke about this was the first step to have all that taken care of and removing the public safety title out of our code, correct? That's what we're looking to do?
That is not what this is, I mean, that could be the next step.
Right.
But that is not accomplished by this.
This is to get the ball rolling
Correct.
to do that, correct?
I mean, if that's the council's ultimate, sure, we can do that.
So do we have to, so my question then is, what do we need this for?
Pat, can we just eliminate it instead of just diverting it back to the mayor?
Well, my recommendation would be, if that's the intent of the council,
Right.
my fault, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Okay.
Then hold this tonight, and at the next meeting, we can put it on a ordinance, just eliminating that entitled, that whole section.
Could you speak into the microphone a little better?
So I'll reiterate.
Thank you, thank you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to, and there's multiple places in which the ordinance references the Director of Public Safety, right? So that's why my question was, this only did the one piece, reverting it back to the mayor, which in theory, all department heads report to the mayor
Right.
anyway. You don't need a Director of Public Safety. What I'm hearing council is going to hold on this, pull this out of the agenda now for caucus. We're going to redo this ordinance, and we can look at all the quotes that I sent you guys to tell you what
Right,
it's
and-
referenced in, and we'll adjust those codes.
Pat and I
accordingly.
discussed those codes.
Mhm.
Thank you for that list. And
Yes.
I have the list still.
Okay,
But yes, Jackie, that's what the ultimate goal
Okay.
is to do.
all right.
So my recommendation would be hold it tonight.
Okay.
You and I can talk tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. My second question is just a clarification on the bill list. The rapid recovery backup,
Yeah.
what, so we had, looks like 15.
Jackie, what number? I'm sorry.
We are, last page, 19. They're all, yeah, the top three, they're all the same invoice number, it looks like, or 19-01280 times 3. Do we know what those charges are for?
I do not off the top of my head. Alyssa, do you know what
So that's like a little, roughly $3,000-ish?
31, 30.
Yeah.
Last page.
The description is just rapid recovery backup and something.
Yeah, I see.
You know what that's for?
I'm trying to think if it was the backing up of, police data stuff for that thing.
Oh, for that new system, that could be what it's for, Jackie. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
For the new fingerprint equipment and everything that the
Okay.
police department just received, or just getting on board with.
Okay.
I can definitely find out for you, get you a definite answer on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. I have a question on Resolution 2019-109. This is on custodial services. It says, whereas the award of this contract is contingent upon the contractor fully complying, if applicable, with the requirements of a public law, chapter cited, known as the affirmative action law, and also correct the deficiencies not in bid, disclosure of investment activities in Iran, form and provide a certified tree expert as a subcontractor. I don't understand what this has to do with best cleaning building services. Affirmative action and disclosure of investment activities in Iran. It doesn't seem like this needs to be placed in this resolution. I don't understand this.
I'm sure it's just a legal technicality that needs to be in there. Is that,
State law, it's an all contract.
What is investment activities in Iran? This is in every contract.
Yeah, there was, I forget the specifics, but there is a specific form basically.
Oh.
clerical paperwork thing?
Yeah, but it's standard practice.
Oh, it has become standard practice. Yeah.
Anything else?
Edward Smith, 395 All Stage Road, Spotswood, New Jersey. I'd like to get some clarification on Resolution 109, 111. In particular, what is the execution of the settlement and what is the financial impact?
That can be discussed, right? So we had a lawsuit because of Oprah, an Oprah lawsuit that was filed against the town. And we came to a settlement with the complainant of, I believe it was $2,700, do you remember? It was $2,700 to prevent it to go any further. Roughly $2,700.
Thank you.
Steve Ronco. Last month, I had asked you for Dawn.
1 sec, Steve. Is this, not to stop you, sorry. If this is new business, we'll wait for you.
There is no new business. My
Okay,
apologies.
thank you. No problem. This time we'll make a motion to close the public portion.
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Just give us 1 second, we'll start the regular meeting. All right. I'm a busy guy tomorrow now.
These papers for us? I didn't know that,
Yeah, you-
I work at the mill, and I'm Jim Wallace, I live on the Cottage Streets. And I was just curious, what type of curbs are they gonna put in over there?
I think just normal curves, but
Yeah,
the engineer can speak.
Well, I was talking to Mayor Seeley, he said that they would be rounded curbs.
Originally, we had proposed full-face regular curbs for the Cottage Street areas, but Mayor Seeley did propose a mountable curb, and we passed that on to the I-Bank because any change order has to go through them for their approval.
Are they doing that, or because there's a problem, those streets aren't wide,
Yeah.
okay, and, it would actually would be a safety issue.
They said that they don't see any issue with that. We just need to put together a formal package to submit to them. Once we meet with the contractor and can get a cost from him. Like I said during our capital project status update, we're gonna meet with the contractor so we can get an updated cost for him because it's a different type of curve. And then we can take that number, present it to the iBank for their approval to switch.
Because I'm one of the people that originally talked to the mayor and got the ball rolling with the streets over there. And next thing, I got the neighbors, you know, the curb, we don't need the curbs.
So, just so I'm clear, are you looking for a normal curve?
No,
Okay.
the rounded curb.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, the rounded curb, this way.
We don't see an issue with the mountable
You can
curve.
pull up onto
Yeah.
the curb or
Whatever
whatever,
you want to do.
you know, as long as it looks nice.
We don't see an issue with the mountable curve, but like I said, because when we submitted the original project, it was a full face
Right,
curve.
right.
And
It might be easier
they're
for them.
funding
I don't
it, we need to
know.
make sure we get their approval before.
I got my list, thank you.
In my pocket, yours too.
All right. Cats over there by the cottage streets, stray cats.
Yeah.
I dealt with a couple litters, and I mean, I'd taken them to the vets, caught them, taken them to the vets, got them their shots, fostered them, I think 3 litters or 4 litters, so my wife has the number. I mean, this is money I shelled out of my pocket, because I love animals. Like your wife, she's an animal advocate, okay?
So not to interrupt you, a few meetings ago, we did have a group of women that came in to talk about the feral cat population.
Mm-hmm.
And we have still been discussing doing something, passing a resolution to get that taken care of, to work with a shelter that will come into the town.
Old Bridge,
Captured.
there's a lady in Old Bridge.
Yeah, I
I
think
can
that's
give you
where
her
she's
phone
from. I
number.
have her.
She's great, she's, you know,
It's probably the same individual that was
same
here
lady.
speaking. So you pass this resolution, and what they'll do is they'll come trap the cats.
Right.
Have them taken
Fix,
care of,
yep.
and then they,
Well, we have a lady also over there.
there is a
that-
Spotswood resident that does it as well, I'm not sure.
No.
Okay.
No. Listen to me first, all right? There is a lady over there. Last year I was talking to her. We'll talk later if you want, or tomorrow, whatever. I'll come by and give you her address. She actually had 2 raccoons living in her garage with her cats,
On purpose.
with her stray cats. I don't know, all right? I certainly would have called somebody to help me. All right,
Yeah.
you heard about the lady up in, with the 188 dogs up in Huntington County?
Oh, and it is,
She was a
yeah.
friend of mine, all right? That's another story in itself. How that happened, I don't know. All right, the cats.
After the meeting, if you can, we'll discuss it after this.
All right, does
I had enough
anybody
phone
know
calls to
that
make tomorrow.
Spotswood, the SWM, the Spotswood mill is down to 1 machine now? Does anybody keep track of that? I work over there.
Yeah, I know because Rob Cantor is a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, well, he retired now. right?
I know he retired, but he still has the.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, because that's a big tax revenue. I could tell you some stories about that later on, what might be happening over there. And why couldn't we call a recess and go over Steve's complaint? You could call a recess and look it over and give him an answer tonight. Can't do that.
I'd like to just take the time in case there's other research that we have to
Yeah,
do.
but I understand his complaint that,
No, I understand.
you know, he talked the last meeting and nothing was done. He sent you an email, you know, and
Yes, I did.
can we sweep it under the desk? I mean,
It's
that's
not
why
gonna get
people
swept
get angry.
It's not gonna get swept under the desk, it'll be
All
handled.
right. What else? Oh, and I think going back to the wells, great idea. Thank you.
Where's those raccoons? What's the address there?
I'll get the address tomorrow.
I'll get it from you later.
What, you want raccoons?
Lot of nuts. All right.
Jackie Palmer, 9 Shupin Street. Now, since it's not a popular topic, I'm a little nervous to raise it, but I too brought an issue to the council last meeting regarding my open request for the business administrator's closed session minutes, in which I was denied, and it was cited as a client-attorney privilege, which is not appropriate for a closed meeting session in which someone who doesn't belong there is actually sitting in it. So So I have not heard back from anybody, and you did ask me immediately to send that to you, and I sent it to you. I sent you the email that meeting, so I'm asking what the update is on that.
So I did speak to the attorney, and that's what he cited also, that's the reason behind it. I'm not an attorney, Jackie, so I don't know why that's the case, but that's what he informed me of.
So I just wanted to make sure I understand. When you go into a closed session meeting, and then you come into the public, anything that has now happened in that closed session becomes public knowledge,
right.
yes?
Yes.
Okay, so the meeting notes that I requested from the business administrator were from the meeting. I did not get closed meeting.
You got none of them?
I got no closed meeting, not redacted, nothing. I was told I was not entitled to them. That is not true. You went into closed session, you came into public, what was discussed in closed session became public record.
And I agree with you. And when I spoke to the attorney, I got the same answer that they had given you.
So my question is, do I need to contact Steve's attorney and potentially make $2,700 to get the documents that I'm asking?
So, I will ask that question again, Jackie. And I will get back.
Please get back to me before
will.
I have to stand up here in the public, Charlie, and ask you.
No.
I would like you could send me an email on it and say, Jack,
I'll
this is what
stop by
happened,
your
and we
house
could
or
argue
whatever,
back.
but yes.
Right, but my question, that's a problem for me,
Yeah.
so if we could address that.
Close meeting notes.
My second item that I have for you guys is, now that we have put the business administrator on an administrative leave, has council thought about ensuring the protection of the taxpayers by doing a full forensic audit on anything and everything that she has done since she took office? And the reason I ask that question is because I particularly know of a couple, which if anybody could go back in the public record and watch the videos that take place of misappropriated funds with FEMA dollars, things that have been done financially that have been done wrong and inappropriately. And what I'm asking for is potentially an outside auditor, not our annual audit that gets done by the same person. And I'm not saying, suggesting that our CFO or our auditor are involved in anything. I'm saying that we have multiple lawsuits on our plate. And in order to protect us, has council considered?
So I know we haven't discussed it yet, Jackie. I think we're all in the same boat that we're seeing what's going to happen with this investigation and everything else. That's, I'm sure, a huge cost impact to the town. If there's something that is brought to our attention, obviously, and we'll definitely look into doing that. So, I mean, to just do it without any proof? Yeah, not proof, because you're doing it to find the proof, but without any accusations, not that we need more accusations in the town, but you know what I'm saying, to spend that kind of money for a preventative thing, unless we know that something's going on, I don't know if I feel that's necessary.
I'm just asking if you have considered it.
I have not discussed it, so I don't know if the rest of the council has discussed it.
They may or may not have even thought of it. Just making a suggestion that I can almost guarantee you likely need to protect yourself. And I'll just leave that there.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Diane Charlesworth, 29 Old Stage Road. Speaking of the investigation, do we have any kind of status updates or?
It's on, all we can say is it's ongoing.
Okay.
Can't really discuss anything other than that, but it is moving along.
Any projected length?
I don't want to make any guarantees. By the next meeting, probably we won't have anything, but probably the following meeting, but that's not a guarantee.
So that's in September?
Hopefully, the end of September, hopefully, we can have discussion on what's going on.
So from June to September, is there time frame kind of for doing the investigation? Because that's when we hired them, right?
Right. It's more a scheduling thing to get together with everybody in the meetings,
Okay.
things like that. It's not per se that she's interviewing thousands of people. It's this person could do it then, and 2 weeks now, somebody else could do it. So that's what,
Right.
really the hold up.
And then coordinating with all of you to give her findings.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so,
Hopefully,
so like within, say, 5 or 6 weeks.
that's my hope. I was hoping.
Are you an optimist or a pessimist?
Well, I was hoping that 3 weeks ago, so here we go.
You know, just checking the temperature here, kids.
Larry Krebsky, 29 Rainbow Lane. I'm just curious to know, with the stuff as far as redoing some of these streets, is there anything that can also be done about, curbs, within the town? Like, a lot of those streets, the curbs are pretty bad too. They're all chewed up.
Like in your neighborhood, or is that what you're asking?
Yes.
So I'm not going to say 100% of the time, but I'll say 90% of the time. When we go into a neighborhood and redo streets, curbs and sidewalks are part of that project.
Oh, okay, great.
There could be exceptions where they're not, but
Right.
yes. So the curbs, usually when we go in, we try to encompass everything.
Okay.
So we're not going back there in 2 years to try to fix something else.
Okay,
So
all
the
right.
curbs and/or sidewalks possibly are in that project.
Okay, good, thank you.
You don't have to drink water, so I'm not. I have a question on Brunswick Avenue on the curbing and the sidewalks.
Okay.
And you say curbing's on the odd side, right?
Curbing on both sides.
Both sides.
Oh, okay, but sidewalks on the even side just?
Sidewalk is on.
Sidewalk is on, if you're going up Brunswick Avenue, would be on the
Right, I said. So you're gonna take property away from both sides though?
Just, we're getting
For the
easement
sidewalk?
acquisition.
You know what I mean? Because it's
No,
narrow.
just where the sidewalks are going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not, the other side of the street, we don't need to.
Okay, you just gotta put the curbing right where, right, so if that street comes in there, doesn't it come in a little bit? You're not gonna make it in line with the other sidewalk. As you come down Brunswick Avenue, it narrows, right?
So that will get wider now.
That'll be
Okay.
wider, right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's what I meant. So you're actually taking away a little bit on both sides?
For the roadway, correct?
Yes, okay.
Not for sidewalk.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Make a motion to close the public portion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting, September the 4th, 7:30.
Just let me know tomorrow.
I broke my wrist. For the July meeting.
Right inside. You put a little pressure on him.
What's that?
You put a little pressure on him.
Stay on top of it.
We don't do it, who's gonna do it, right?
Yep. Feel like they're retreating, make some cuts,
But I'd rather not to.
Yeah, he was okay. Still, both sides of Manalapan Road could use sidewalks,
It was rough.
It's free country in the morning.
I definitely will, and I apologize. I got a message. When,
No, and I apologize too.
No.
Your defense, I didn't send it to you.
and I'm not looking to stop the lawsuit. I don't like
No, I
saying it,
just
but.
want the paperwork.
Right, and I know it, and I even sent it up there. I shouldn't assume, but when I didn't hear from you, I just figured, okay, maybe you got it because it was complained at the
Your
meeting.
defense, I didn't send it to you.
So now that we have this, we'll discuss it, and I'll get back to you as soon as
Yeah,
we
but
can.
you guys don't have an ordinance to enforce.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you just shot yourself in the foot because you know we're gonna have one.
I know you're gonna, yeah. But I can still request for now.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, all right.